Hey guys, and welcome back to Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. In the last part, we did a little bit of cleanup after beating the Spittle dungeon. So in this case, in this part, we're going to Spiderweb Island, which has one of the most kick-ass themes in the entire game, in my opinion. Yeah.
I actually like the theme that precedes it a little more, but I agree. This is the point in time where the soundtrack really started to stick into my head.
Oh,
And at this point,
you prefer the Saliva Islands theme to
no. I'm talking about the theme that plays in relation to one of the events that's going to happen here in this island. I'll point it out when we get there, but it was around when we Spiderweb Island where I figured, okay, yeah, I gotta buy this soundtrack.
Oh yeah, I've loved Jake Kaufman ever since I've heard about him. He does nearly every single soundtrack for Way Forward. And he's done a lot of other games too. He's did.
Oh God! Now we're really playing Castlevania.
Yeah. For early game, this is actually a really good place to farm gems because you can get a gem not only for every zombie you kill, but for every zombie head. So, if you need some gems early on, I recommend this area. Although Tan Line Island is generally better because we'll see when we get there. Later on, but not a bad spot for gem grinding. This area is also generally a little bit harder than Saliva Island because this is the area where we start seeing enemies who can do more than one quarter of a heart damage, and also there's just a lot of respawning fucks here. So, yeah.
Although I see Spiderweb Island is using some assets from Tangled Forest.
Basically, a lot of Pirate's Curse is reusing Risky's Revenge sprites and environmental pieces and stuff like that. There is
that
a lot.
That kind of makes me just think of Order of Ecclesia a little more, which we compared this game to in terms of how it's handled in Risky's Revenge. Where clearly, with the late game stuff was clearly just the older areas with a different touch of paint.
Okay, Order of Ecclesia. How many Castlevania games came out on the DS before that one? Because I haven't played any of those.
There's three total. There's Dawn of Sorrows, Portrait of Ruin, and there's Order of Ecclesia.
Okay.
Yeah, and Dawn of Sorrows was a sequel to the last of the Game Boy Advance games.
Okay.
So.
Okay. They've got one of them up on one of the GBA games up on the Virtual Console, right? Should I just?
I recommend them. I recommend. The GBA series is pretty good. I think
at this point they might have all of the GBA Castlevanias up.
If they don't, there are other means of getting them. They're not expensive from what I remember. They're pretty solid games, and the DS games are, I think, B+ to A+.
Yeah, well, I could wipe the dust off this PS3 and just download Symphony of the Night, I suppose.
The fact that they still haven't done that just makes my penis shrink.
Hello, Rottytops.
Yeah.
Weren't you trying to eat my brain last playthrough?
Yeah, Shantae's still a little bit pissed about that, actually.
Shantae is pretty cool to these people who screwed her over last game. I mean, she's all joking around with Risky about how she wants to dress like a pirate and be like her pirate partner or something, and now she's just putting up a token effort of stubbornness when it comes to saving Rottytops. But after that, it's fine.
They settled the argument pretty fast. It's like, I should just leave you to rot. I'm already rotting. Oh, you win this round, Rottytops.
Well, Rottytops is also dying, even though she's a zombie. So,
Yeah, but she doesn't want to be deader.
Okay, this is.
I'll save you, Rottytops. Just don't screw me over anymore.
This is probably the most annoying part of the entire game, though.
I disagree, but it's up there.
What do you think's more annoying than this?
Did we just explode?
Yeah.
Mega Man style.
Yeah. Wait, John, what beats out Run Run Rottytops?
the final gauntlet.
Oh.
But this is right up there, guys. This is the part that really. All right. So what's going on here is that you're carrying Roddy back to her home. Shantae can't defend herself whatsoever, and everything that touches her instantly kills her. Now, fortunately, you respawn right back at the beginning of the area, so you don't have to worry about game overs or anything like that. On the other hand, you can't defend yourself whatsoever. You just can't put down Roddy for a second and whip these enemies to Kingdom Ka, and go
like-
about your merry business.
I like that idle animation where whenever you stop, she just sort of dances on her
Yeah.
feet.
Yeah,
It's like,
you know-
come on,
Keep the pace going.
gotta go.
Yeah,
gotta go,
you know,
gotta go.
despite the urgency of the situation, urgency in massive quotation marks, as we'll see, the best strategy I have for getting through this area with your sanity intact is taking your time, like tiptoeing through the area, because there's no time limit here. It's just a matter of getting through. Really. So since you, especially in the bigger rooms, where if you get hit once, you have to do the entire thing all over again. You just want to go through as carefully and methodically as possible.
Yeah.
So
It's really the biggest pain in the ass is when you're in the really big rooms, like in the second half of this little area right here. But when I was talking about soundtracks, so like the theme that I like a little more in Spiderweb album, it's actually this theme. It's I don't remember what it was called in the soundtrack. It was like Nightmare Run or Run Rottytops.
okay, well hold on. I'm actually gonna pull up the track list right now because Jake Kaufman, for some odd reason, has really strange naming practices for all of his games. Really, like hold on.
Yeah, would you get that the main theme is called "I Want a Number 2 with Onions"? Like I don't get it.
Does any of it beat calling Shadow's theme in Sonic Adventure 2 Mr. Unsmiley?
Oh no, that was Skyrail, if I remember correctly.
Which sort of fits. Kind of makes sense. He doesn't smile.
Well, I suppose.
I mean, he does smile, but it's not a genuine smile.
I don't even know, man. Okay. Okay, Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. Here it is. Okay, we've got oh, actually, they're not actually all that. They're actually not all that weird in this one. Like Raven the Grave is the zombie island theme. Oh wait, hold on. There's the Tenacious Tentacled Terror. Is one of them.
One of them is also called The Cult of Personality, which I also think was a late '80s rock song.
Probably.
The one that immediately caught my eye
the
when looking at the soundtrack.
Is this
Yeah,
one.
yeah, there you go. That's the name of it. The one that immediately caught my attention, probably because it's in all caps, is "Do You Even Whip?"
Do you even whip?
Whip, yeah.
Oh man, he's just, I love Jake Kaufman. He's great. If you don't follow him on Twitter, you probably should because he posts about his dog like literally all the time.
Can you whip it?
It's named Nugget.
Can you whip it?
I suppose if you're an asshole.
I do love how bouncy this track right here is, though. Like it fits the mood perfectly.
I think it's just a little bit too short for me, but it is a good track.
Oh, it's repetitive as fuck in this circumstance, but when you listen to it in the soundtrack, you only gotta listen to it on loop once. That's it. That's all you need. I like the track.
Okay.
I like how these things just happily run straight off the edge or into the nearest wall and explode.
But they want to kiss. Smooch, smooch.
Ew.
I think that's what they're doing, right? They're holding their
Yeah.
arms out and they're smooching their lips.
Yeah.
Ah. I thought those were duck bills.
Well, I don't know how high up you have the volume, but they are making like a kind of sound effect too as they run. So.
Ironically, they're more interested in the dead one. Hey, okay. Not gonna judge. Not gonna judge.
Well, if you're Kirk, you won't mind the green skin.
Yeah, but she's also dead.
Like Captain Kirk would care. She's
Captain Kirk will probably find out after the fact. And then he'll
Jesus,
throw her up for the
Aries.
rest of the night.
This is going on for way too long.
Yeah, and keep in mind, every time I die, in a lot of these areas, I die more than once. I cut out all my excess deaths. This area goes on for like a good 15-20 minutes, especially the first time you play the game.
Well, if anything, it feels like 15-20 minutes. In actuality, it's like 10. But with the amount of times you're dying, then yeah, I'd imagine so.
I think they wanted to emphasize platforming an awful lot more in Risky's Revenge, which, not Risky's Revenge, Pirate's Curse.
Riskiest.
I think
Pirate's Revenge.
In this game, they wanted to emphasize platforming a lot more, which is why they have these kind of sections, I think. Because after the first area, like basically every island after the first one has like sort of a mini area that you have to go through, like kind of a mini dungeon, for lack of a better word. Like this, like Spiderweb Island has this Run Rottytops section. Tan Line has the Tan Line Temple, which we'll get to. I guess the Village of Lost Souls could technically count for Mudbog.
I counted, so yeah.
Yeah, and then there's Propeller Town. So you know, I think they wanted to emphasize on making the areas a little bit more lively in this in Pirate's Curse. So they added these kind of mini sections to almost every island in order to make you spend more time in the overworld than just the dungeons, which I think is fair. It's just I would have cut a few rooms from Rottytops personally.
I love the payoff though for this when you finish all of this, and you know.
Well,
I'm
no,
talking
I
about
was
after the revelation.
Yeah.
Like if you attempt to head back into this area, like Shantae would immediately stop. It's like I'm not going back in there.
It'd be an awful lot easier if you could whip most of these things, though, because like the robot things and the tombstone crabs, we see them later on, and they can die. So,
yeah.
Cripes, this is getting almost bullet hellish.
Yeah, this is like
this
the
is the
last
final area, though.
This is one of the last rooms, though. So
yeah, there you go.
Finally, a save point.
Yeah.
Could have used about 3 more of those. Jesus.
Oh.
What?
I forgot to jump.
Fuck.
Yeah, don't forget that Cacklebat there. Also, I love how the dungeon has a face.
Why not just throw Rottytops at it?
Because she's hurt or whatever. I don't know.
She's a zombie. She'll be alright.
We hope.
We can just stitch her back together.
Oh yeah, so
This is what we find out. There's nothing actually wrong with her.
she just wanted to ride.
Yeah. I can't go on. Go on without me. And
No.
carry me.
Oh wait, so do you think I could pull this? Oh no, John, I can't make it. No, come on, John, please help
That's
me.
too bad. Here comes my bus.
Ah, you dick. See, Abner's a nice enough guy, though. He's kind of rough around the edges, but he says sorry in the best way he can. I suppose.
He's a zombie version of the big tunnel snake brother who acts all cool and protective, but is actually a pretty okay guy when you get underneath it all.
Yeah, the zombie, like, they made it kind of a joke in Risky's Revenge, that, you know, these zombies drink coffee in order to not be the wild zombies that we fight in the game itself. But there's actually kind of a profound sort of line, not really profound, but he says something like how we're supposed to live on brains and not hurt anybody I don't really know, or something like that. So they kind of go into the nature of the zombies a little bit more in this game, which we see more in Mudbog Island, which isn't for a little while, but yeah.
You see, I always figured their form of substance was coffee. Like, but not just to keep them coherent and, you know, sane, but it's just another food source entirely. But they still have to eat brains just to live.
I'm not sure. Well, it could be the first example I'm thinking of is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where like the good vampires drink like pig's blood and something, where like it sustains them, but they'd really rather be drinking real blood or something like that. Like it might be.
That sounds like Twilight.
No.
But Buffy came first.
Buffy came first, and the less we compare the two of them and get people down our throats, the better.
There's also this news show or something or other that's on lately that might do something like that. What's it called? iZombie.
Yeah. She eats brains to get their memories and stuff to solve crimes.
Oh, of murder subjects?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like... I never watched the show, but Pushing Daisies, like, the guy could touch people and bring them back to life, and then he immediately touched them again to make them die again.
Boy, I really hope this murder victim doesn't have amnesia.
Okay, so how were you killed? Well, I kind of have a pickaxe in my head, so how the fuck am I supposed to remember?
Well...
Yeah, so it's very easy to forget that Cacklebat's there, so I just go after it right now. Ow.
I immediately went to this dungeon entrance the moment I got the shriveled head, but looking back, I don't see how the two correlate.
It says he's hungry.
Yeah, but shriveled head? I would have thought like a meal or something like that, or maybe a brain.
Well, it's a... Yeah. Well, they're zombies, so they'll just eat basically anything when you think about it. There's really not as much effort put into getting into the dungeons as there is in, like, Risky's Revenge, where you had to get the tasty meal for the Squid Baron.
No, thank God.
Yeah, but it's really just sort of a little bit. It doesn't really matter in my opinion. It's like you get the thing, you can go into the dungeon. That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.